Shelley, why don't you give us a status?
Take roll.
Well, we probably ought to do that, because we do have a quorum now. Go ahead and call the roll.
Dr. Kincaid, Mr. Newsom, Mr. Riley, Mrs. Troop,
Here,
Mrs. Zimmershed.
we do have a quorum. Why don't you give us the status of where we stand on the ransomware and then your recommendation?
Okay, as you know, we were significantly compromised this weekend. Our servers were compromised because we had some sophisticated criminals who were able to tap into one of our IP addresses and push through some ransomware, which is a tool that encrypts our data. They don't steal our data, they just encrypt our data. And it wormed its way through our system and actually encrypted our Power School data, which there's a lot of data that's encrypted, but to start school effectively, we have to have Power School updated. It deals with scheduling, contacts of parents, medical information. Right now, we know that we had a snapshot of that data as of August the 10th. We don't know what time that was collected on August 10th, but we are working to rebuild it in Power School, and they've made a lot of progress. Our people have worked throughout the weekend. We believe we'll have Power School up and running with that saved data, but we have to rebuild this past week. And I know we had about 200 schedules at the high school that were built on the 11th, our 4th hour, plus all of our schedule changes. We also had registration. So if we were to start on Wednesday at this point, I think it would be a haphazard start. And with these unprecedented times, it's important that we have our information accurate in the system so that we can contact parents as needed. And we want kids in their right classes. We don't want them to congregate in the offices with COVID. And I believe the recommendation would be to give us through the weekend to make sure everything is restored in Power School and begin school on Monday, August 24th.
Where's our IT guys? They're not here.
They've been here throughout the night. They're really working hard.
What does encrypted mean? If they didn't steal it, they encrypted it.
It's
What does that mean?
unreadable. We can't access our documents.
So they kind of changed it to where
Yes.
okay.
And what these sophisticated criminals do is they request a ransom. And we got a ransom letter, and we did work with Chief Bohan, connected us to an FBI agent who focuses on cybersecurity, and he said absolutely do not pay the ransom, which we wouldn't anyway, because it was astronomical. With our screenshot of Power School, that will help us get started, but we are going to be rebuilding a lot of files. Today, our certified staff returns, and as you know, we have pushed our support staff, our 10-month support, to come in Thursday, Friday, but we need to assess the damage on whose machines were encrypted. Mine was, Barbara's was, but other administrators who were here last night did not have their data encrypted. It will not hurt our machines, but they can't access the documents. They will have to rebuild those documents. Anything that was cloud-based is protected. Our municipal accounting system, personnel, payroll is all safe. But anything that was server-based has been encrypted. Well, most things. We're still finding out. Just this morning, we're working on rebuilding our network printers. We can't print to the network.
A couple of questions. What does this do to the child nutrition group? Have they already bought food and everything ready to go for Wednesday?
They are ready to go, but as you know, a lot of our food items this year were grab-and-go meals. Now, I will tell you that NutriKids was affected, which is our software accounting for our students. They did a backup to NutriKids on the 11th, so that was really good news. Central administrators met yesterday, and we met with our child nutrition people, so they have a pretty accurate backup. They can go ahead and feed kids for like 30 days without that information up to date.
So it's not gonna cost them any money?
No, they don't think so. They said they're good.
How often do you back up?
Weekly, but after now, we're going to be backing up daily. So
Okay, that's
to
what
an
I'm-
external hard hard drives, so.
Okay.
How does it,
And
go ahead.
this was not something that one of our employees clicked on. It was not a phishing, issue, so.
It's a problem with the software that they didn't catch it, so what's the software company gonna do? They're gonna find the problem?
Power School, I haven't spoken with Power School this morning, and I haven't talked to our guys yet. They were working around some fixes. Obviously, we're gonna get some support and get some consultant help to help us,
I was gonna say,
alleviate this in
if
the
they got
future.
into ours, we're gonna be able to get into somebody else's.
Yes.
It wouldn't probably be Power School, it'd probably be our servers that we buy, but we buy a software program.
Whoever.
Yeah, we've got something.
Multi-million dollars that you scream about the cost of this
Well,
stuff.
here's the thing, it appears that the hackers
Seems like it.
accessed one of our IP addresses, and that they were able to figure out a password that wasn't strong enough of one of our employees and take over. So one thing that we're going to do is we are going to assign passwords. They're hard to remember, but it is not worth this. And
I don't believe you can ever have, I mean, passwords won't solve the problem. They can make it better, but somebody could always beat you at the password.
Don't we have some kind of spyware or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we have all
buy-
kinds of things,
we
but
buy a
these
program.
are sophisticated. Now, I will tell you, and I'm reluctant to say who, but apparently there have been 2 other area organizations that were hit this weekend, and I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not going to say who those were, and it happened in this area. I visited with Sean Heim yesterday, just to give him a heads up. It happened to Oklahoma City 2 years ago, it's happened to Broken Arrow. He said that when Oklahoma City got targeted, OSSBA got targeted, they had to rebuild all their financials, and it was several years long. The FBI agent told me that this has been, ransomware's kind of died down, but with the pandemic, it's amped back up. People are trying to take advantage and are vulnerable organizations. The timing was excellent, they knew we needed the data, and they thought we would pay the ransom, but it is not going to happen.
I wonder how many people paid the money.
I
Maybe
Googled that
keep
this
doing
weekend, I saw that there was a city in Florida that paid the ransom. Now, the special agent said, we are not recommending that you pay the ransom, which we couldn't, but, I saw that a city in Florida paid the ransom, and they got the key to, unlock the data.
I've got a friend that his brother-in-law owned a company in Dallas. They had the same thing happen a year or so ago to them. They were charged $35,000, and they said it was a nightmare getting the payment through Bitcoin to them. They gave them the key back, and they got the data back, but they had to bring in an outside consultant to figure out how to make everything work. Just the payment is unbelievable complicated. Bitcoin is set up so in essence, you can't track who the money goes to and where it comes from. I mean, that's what, it's been taken over by some bad people, and that's the way they operate Bitcoin. So it is a nightmare to pay ransom. A question I do have, will this, or how does this impact the students in our last day of school dates?
It will not impact, because as you remember, we changed those professional development days to distance learning instructional days, so we had actually 5 days extra built into the calendar.
So 3 of those, they won't do distance learning?
Correct. Well, they'll still do distance learning, we're just not going to lose the 3 days of instruction these few days, because we will have instruction on those distance learning days.
So we have gone 5 more than last year
Correct.
of instructional days.
Correct, by converting those professional development days, just so they would be practice days in the event that we go into intermittent closure.
So the recommendation is to delay school till Monday the 24th.
Correct,
That's all.
we hope.
At
So
this
far.
point.
At this 10
point.
seconds.
Anybody else have any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion from Don, a second from
Second.
Judy. Call for the vote.
Mr. Newsom?
Aye.
Mr. Riley?
Aye.
Mrs. Drew?
Motion carries. Last thing, need a motion to adjourn, unless we don't have anything
No,
else.
unless you have any other questions, I will keep you apprised via blind carbon copy where we are, once Power School's up and running.
Motion to adjourn
Yes.
from Dawn, second from Judy. Call for the vote.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye, we are adjourned.